Okay, let's go ahead and get started there, folks. One second while I get everything kind of set up on my end here real quick. Apologies for being a little late today. Nature called right at the wrong time. Isn't that always the case? You're like, hey, I need to do something do something that I need to do. Oh wait. No, the body's saying, oh, nope, you gotta do something else. Okay, let's get some music going here so that my headset doesn't give out on me. Now, again, sorry, but I cannot play said music because of copyright. So, you'll just have to kind of listen to some of your own music if you want to if you want that background noise yourself. Um, okay. Looks like everything is pretty much ready to go, so let's go ahead and get this live for y'all. And oh wait, I'm not on the right collection. And there we go. It's on the wrong scene collection. I'm a professional, honest. Okay. Um, Welcome back to another 2 p.m.-ish PST YouTube stream. I'm your host, Strangebeard Jim, and today we're going to once again be going back into some Pega certification studies. We got some Unreal studies after that, or Unreal Engine tutorials to cover, and we got some videos to upload. Well, actually, videos have been uploaded. I just need to make them public. And then to wrap it all up, we got some Warframe later on tonight. So we are out of October, so no more Phasmophobia for the time being. I mean, unless people want me to play that on a regular basis, but I mean, that's going to be a little rough on the single player wise. I would, I tend to do better with the multiplayer on that game. It helps calm me down. All right. But for those of you that are just here for the Pega, if you're watching this on YouTube, then I thank you for joining me on this. Let's get into what this is all about, though. So a little bit about me. I'm currently a unemployed software developer whose last job was in the Pega environment. And now the job that I had initially started out with training with an authorized training partner. However, pretty much 99% of us on the team, which was like, 15 or so people, decided that he wasn't all that great and went self-study. Um, and don't think that it was just on us either. His own coworkers saw that he was causing problems. So, you know, we weren't, it wasn't like an unjustified thing going on here. They knew we were having problems, but nothing was really done about it. Quite a few of us asked to be put back into training again so that we could actually learn Pega properly. But they didn't want to do that. They wanted us out making the money as quickly as they could, as they possibly could. So they pushed us into contracts. Not exactly the best scenario. In my particular opinion, you want to have your workers as knowledgeable as you possibly can, otherwise it brings down your brand. That's how I would view it, but they I guess were having, and maybe they were having financial trouble or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Um, but needless to say, it was um, we were pushed out into certification, into a contract. The one and only time that I did take the certification, I knew that I wasn't ready because I was already full swing self-study at that point, and I had not covered all the topics of said certification, so I knew that I was going to fail. Um, I was pretty much 100% sure that I was going to fail. Maybe I thought that I could get just enough to get that, borderline certification. Not exactly, something to necessarily aim for, but I mean, what was I supposed to do? They weren't giving me a choice in the matter. So I would have delayed it, personally. But that didn't happen. So hopefully, if you get yourself an authorized training partner, you'll have a good one that will teach you everything that you need to know about Pega. Now, if you want to, you can take the instructor-led training, which is hosted by Pega Academy, but it's a 2-week course and it's $5,000. So it is a jam-packed course. It is short. Um, they're probably going to throw everything at you, including the kitchen sink. And it is not going to be easy. So take lots of notes, take lots of video recordings, study all the time if you can, and prep yourself for the certification. Ask questions because when I took my 8.6 certification, I was seeing Pega 7 questions in there. So feel free to ask about previous versions because you're going to need to know about those previous versions. What has changed? Because you're going to be working with coworkers that might not be aware of recent versions and the like. So be prepared for that. Okay. Um, but know that I'm working on my certification as well. Okay, so I'm not an authorized training partner, and I'm not an instructor-led, and don't consider this an instructor-led training, please. You're welcome to ask questions, whether it's in the chat or on my YouTube videos. When I have them posted, you're welcome to do that. But I'm I might not be able to answer it directly, but I will see what I can do about finding someone that can. I have worked with some people that are Pega professionals, and they might be able to answer the questions. So if I if you give me a question that I don't know the answer to, I will find someone that can. Okay, so yeah, going for my system architect. Now there is another certification that pretty much goes hand in hand, and that's the business architect. We've already covered all that. We've already covered the 2 missions and 2 modules for the mission for business architect. I'm not going to really bother going through that again. Um, maybe I'll be seeing topics as I go through mock exams or whatnot, but for the most part, this is not my personal goal. Okay. If it is yours, then I would recommend that, these 2 modules here, they cover the Pega Express delivery. I would recommend that you go through this mission for Pega Express delivery so that you are very much prepared for the 12% that is going to be on the certification exam covering this particular topic. So be prepared for that, okay? But we're going to continue with our system architect. We have some um, that we have the Pega UX solutions, and the next topic is the Pega Cosmos design system, which they say is 15 minutes, but it doesn't really look like it. But we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll be going through 2 of them, so we'll see. So the Pega Cosmos design system. So the design system explained. A design system is a builder kit which consists of a shared library of user experience patterns comprised of components that offer the following benefits. Provide a consistent user experience through a systemized collection of design rules and patterns. Speed up design and development time, and produce better business outcomes by increasing consistency and efficiency in software development. I mean, all those are pretty much, you know, pretty much good to have, right? So, a design system is also defined as a set of following information: user interface elements, styles, patterns, themes, and guidelines. Development teams use and reference this information to provide a consistent user experience. A design system also includes more abstract elements, such as brand values, shared ways of working, user experience mindset. The Pega Cosmos design system allows you to build applications quickly and keeps the application easy to update for future releases. The Cosmos design system provides a complete, prescribed presentation layer that includes information architecture, interactions, accessibility, data visualizations, and more, all supplied and implemented on multiple technologies. It is a complex user experience toolkit that meets the needs of large organizations that have case management application use cases. So the following figure shows a Pega application that uses the Cosmos design system. The dashboard of the claim case in a sales tool shows information without needing to scroll. The preceding dashboard shows a single Pega case. The structure of the screen could work for a claim or a mortgage application. It could represent a disputed bill. Using its information architecture and visual structure, you can display the essentials of almost any business object better. The screen shows a great deal of information, and you can view most of it without much scrolling. However, the screen feels comfortable and light, similar to a customer app from an app store. Check your knowledge with the following interaction. Design system uses rules and patterns to create a user experience library, but it might increase development time. Nope, incorrect. That's false. It's meant to, accelerate design and development time. So, think of it this way. From a programmer sentence, right? You could use assembly language to do everything that you wanted to do, right? You can build this, you can build a browser, you can build a, any kind of application, game, whatever. You can do all that um, um, with assembly language. I mean, you can. Why? I have no idea. Why would you want to? Because the problem with the assembly language is that it is very low level. Not not the lowest. I mean, you still got machine language, but I mean, it is extremely low level. Okay? I mean, the next one above that would be C. And even that's not necessarily the greatest when it comes to building, large scale applications. You start going to, wanting to do, C++, C Sharp, Java, Python. I mean, these are other languages that build off that foundation of, having C, assembly language, machine language. Okay, so, sure, you can use the older, the lower level code to do what you want to do, but it will take, the time that it would take to do such work increases, you know, by a lot in some cases. So, depending on what you want to do, right? So, having a standardized language that is a higher level language, you know, reduces down the amount of time that you might spend. Same thing with like a design system, something that you're allowed to just kind of like move a button directly on the screen. Okay, the language or the environment will automatically detect, what that button is, kind of meant to do, the position, the size. Um, it's supposed to interpret where your mouse is in relation to it, so that if the mouse does hover over it, then it might need to change the mouse in some way, whatever. You know, it's all based off of that particular application. Now, um, so I mean, um, as we progress, forward in time, okay, um, we'll be developing more and more tools to make it easier to build, applications faster. Okay, that's just the way of it. Okay, sure, there's always going to be that need to continue building on the lower level to kind of handle any like changes that we might need to see, that we might need to do, new hardware, how to handle new hardware, those kind of things. There's always going to be that need there, right? But there's always going to be that, additional languages that build on top of each other to make it easier for us to, um, put out games, put out applications, um, and what kind of applications are we designing? Medical, financial, um, you know, um, space systems, um, aeronautics, whatever, you know, whatever your mind can think of, you know. So yeah, let's move on to the next one here. And again, it is a very short one. So Pega Cosmos full case page anatomy. The Pega Cosmos design system offers critical information at a glance. To learn more about the main areas of a full Cosmos case page, select the plus icons in the following figure. So you have your global navigation. So global navigation on the far left contains navigation elements in a single global navigation component instead of a traditional application header. This design moves to work upward, allowing for a more efficient use of screen real estate. Summary panel. The summary panel contains critical information about the case. Size, shape are purposely similar to a mobile device. Placement of the summary panel ensures that users can view the most critical information of the record in the upper left of the screen. Users who read left to right instinctively look to the upper left of the screen to understand their context and get their bearings on any new screen. Now, here's my question though. What happens if you're in an area that reads right to left? You know, can you move the summary panel over to say the right hand side of the screen? You know, I don't personally know myself. I'm assuming that you can, but you never know. Work area. In the middle of the screen is the work area. It contains the main interactions and activities that the user must do to act on the case. At the top of the work area is the case lifecycle, followed by a list of tasks relevant to the case and the user. And then, of course, utilities. Utilities on the right provide contextual information to help users work through the case. I mean, sure, okay. Um, I mean, based off of what you have here, it doesn't really look like you're going to be providing much information as more, something that you can kind of see like some like additional context, like, hey, here's some documentation. Here's everybody that's currently working on said project, whatever. So, The summary panel is shaped like a mobile device because it contains the most important information about the case, and users tend to look at the upper left of the screen for context. Yeah, that's about true. That's true. Research shows that users tend to look at the upper left of the screen to understand context. That depends on where you're at. It's, I mean, is that all, are you getting that research from, say, Japan? Because I would imagine in Japan, the upper right might be their first, um, you know, placement. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying that, I know that, um, if I'm not mistaken, Japanese reads from right to left. So, if you're in Japan, wouldn't you want your information in the upper right? So, um, so this should be regional. So, um, I don't think this is. Um, I think this research is flawed based off of regional information. That's my own personal opinion right at this moment in time. I don't really know. Um, Matter of fact, I'm half inclined on taking a screenshot of that and asking them. Um, oh, it has a little bit of a background for some reason. Okay, let me try that again. Better. Okay. Let's see. Um, 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 isn't the upper left more to do with regional preferences? Um, if I'm not mistaken, Japan reads from right to left. So wouldn't they want to be looking at the upper left or upper right as a default? Um, so is the research global or just a United States study? I'm gonna assume that it's a United States study personally, you know. And unfortunately, Americans tend to get very focused on themselves a lot. I'm calling myself out on this one too, there, folks. I know um, how ignorant Americans can be about the world sometimes. Um, but I mean, that's one of the positives of being on the internet, though. Okay, you can interact with more people from around the entire world, and you can see and you can learn the context of what they're dealing with. You know, um, like if it wasn't for my if it wasn't for my talking with Blackheart on a regular basis, I personally wouldn't know how difficult things are going in Argentina. I wouldn't know because I'm not necessarily looking at the news that's happening there. Okay, it's really difficult to try to go look at every single country that's around the entire world to see what's going on there. Okay, so it's nice when you can you know chat with someone directly from that location and get the information straight from the source. Okay. Um, but let's face it. Okay. Not everybody's going to know everything that's happening everywhere in the entire world. Okay. That's just, you'd have to be like, you know, plugged into the internet like constantly. And I'm not necessarily saying, hey, I'm sitting down, looking at the news on the internet. I'm talking like literal, like Matrix style plugged in, you know. Um, so yeah, it's um, you know, it, you know, um, but you also have to remember that, United States also is a fairly large country overall, and there's a lot happening here like almost all the time as well. So, um, I mean, let's see. Um, United States versus Europe size. I mean, just seeing these pictures here, just to kind of show you, you know, the amount of area that, from the east coast of the United States to the west coast. I don't know if you're actually seeing that. Yeah, you are. Just to kind of give you an understanding of like how much could be happening here in the United States. You know, I mean, I'm not, saying that's an excuse. You know, I'm just saying that, you know, um, sometimes people can only focus on their specific area for the most part. Okay, maybe even, maybe their city, maybe their state, but, to know everything that's happening across the entire country, at least here in the States, is quite a lot. Now, you know, very informed individuals might know exactly what's happening, throughout everywhere in Europe. They might know what's going on in Spain and France and Italy and Greece, United Kingdom, Germany, Netherlands, whatever. Okay, they might know what's going on at every single spot, but are you going to say that every single person in Europe knows? Probably not. Um, but you know, we should be. Um, we shouldn't necessarily be um, ignorant, or we shouldn't try to remain ignorant, I should say. Okay, we should be open-minded, you know. So, sorry. Definitely a sidetrack off of this, but I just wanted to say, hey, this is potentially regional for the most part. So, yeah. All right, well, that's going to be it for the Pega certification study. Hey there, Roblox. How you doing there, bud? Welcome back to the stream. So we're gonna finish off the Pega Cosmos study session here, because this next session is gonna be kind of covering over videos that they provide. Um, so there's probably gonna be a lot of time necessary to kind of go over these videos a bit and um, kind of cover over, um, cover everything that we're going to be kind of going over a little bit more. So it's going to take a little bit of time to go through this particular topic. So we'll handle that tomorrow. So, um, but yeah, that's going to be it for our Pega certification study. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Feel free to check out the rest of the videos that I have in my playlist concerning the Pega Academy certification. Um, if like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask about that. I'm continuing my journey to get that certification as well, so maybe we can help each other out if you're working on the certification yourself. So don't be afraid to, you know, to communicate, either in chat or, in the comments, and we'll go from there. Help me out with the YouTube algorithm with the like and subscribe. That would be fantastic. Check out the details in my description for more information, social media, links to my Patreon and Throne, for example. I have a stream team that I made. Has a couple members, but we're always looking for more. Whether you're a streamer or not, you're always welcome to join that team. And let's see. Uh, we're going to be ending this in just a second, but we're going to be moving on to the Unreal study session, Unreal tutorial with Blackheart in just a minute. We got some video uploads later on today, or after that 1 hour of Unreal, and then we got Warframe after that. Um, so stick around. Um, you know, um, we got multiple things to do later on today. So hopefully you'll join me in that, or check out my other playlist if you're catching this video on YouTube later. But that's it. That's where we're gonna go, and we're gonna go ahead and end this particular YouTube video. And we'll see you next time.